Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to return to Ellon in Aberdeenshire, which many of you might know is home to Brewdog, and we've got another one of their beers that should be quite interesting today. This is my first review from their new Ace of Hops series, which is of course intended to replace the IPA is Dead that they've done previously. The whole idea behind this series is that they teach the beer drinker about the different hops. So the one we're going to try today is the Ace of Chinook, and this one comes in at 4.5%. If I remember rightly, the other ones they did were like 6.2 and 7.2 if I remember, but this one is a little bit lighter and it should be quite interesting. Chinook of course is a hop very well known for its kind of its pine resins, its sort of spicy floral aromaticity, and also a little bit of grapefruit as well. So I'm really looking forward to trying this one. I always enjoy it when an IPA has this hop in it, so it's going to be quite interesting to try it on its own, of course. So as always with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. Since this is a single hop IPA as well, I will tell you a little bit about the Chinook hop too, so I hope you enjoy that. But if you do want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other Brewdog reviews I've done for you before. I've done about 100 or so of them, so make sure you check them out. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do subscribe to the channel. The whole channel uses a geography based tagging system, so you can search for beer based on that. There are the playlists for different beers from different countries as well that you can check out. Do check out my sake and whiskey reviews, and as always please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Brewdog. So these guys were founded back in 2007 by James Watt and Martin Dickey, and their first brewery was a very small industrial unit in the Keswick Industrial Estate in Fraserburgh in the very northeast corner of Scotland. But more recently, I think it was 2012, they moved to their new, very shiny and purpose-built facility in Ellon, which is closer to the city of Aberdeen, where I used to study chemistry, of course. But these guys are a very interesting brewery. They're largely experimental and influenced by the American craft brewing renaissance. They often cite people like Sierra Nevada and Anchor Brewery and Stone Brewing Company, in fact, as many of their major influences. They do market themselves primarily as an IPA brewery, of course, the hardcore IPA and the punk IPA being some of their first beers, but I do think they're very good at dark beers actually. The Riptide is one of my favourite beers from Brewdog, and of course the Dogma, the Scotch Ale, is another favourite of mine. But these guys are quite prolific. They've held the title of World's Strongest Beer on 3 separate occasions as well. They produce a lot of different series of beer. I mean, you've got the Paradox, which is their imperial stouts that are barrel aged in different whiskey casks. You had the IPA is Dead, which has been replaced by this one, the Ace of Hops. You have the Abstracts as well, the Hello My Name Is, which are usually IPAs with different fruits added to them. They do a whole host of different things. They've got their amplified range, their core range, the headliners as they call it, the tweaked range, which is the gluten-free beers and things like that as well. So they do a lot of different interesting things, but they've also got a kind of chain of pubs these days. The first of these opened in 2010 in Aberdeen. I was there on the opening night but don't remember so much of it. They've spread throughout the rest of Scotland and really far afield. Now the furthest away one I can think of is Roppongi in Tokyo, or the one in Sao Paulo in Brazil, so those are really thriving. They're constantly adding more there. They're in Italy, Spain, I think France now as well. They're all over Europe these days. They're also working on a second brewery over in Columbus, Ohio, America, and they've installed a distillery which will release gins and whiskies under the name Lone Wolf Distillery. They've installed that distillery up at their facility in Ellon too. But these guys have a very interesting business model because they're largely a crowd-funded brewery. They're with their Equity for Punks shareholding program. So basically you and I, fans of the brewery, could buy shares, and this is what they've used to fund a lot of their infrastructure developments. But they're now the largest independently owned Scottish craft brewery, and God knows what volume of beer they're actually producing, but very prolific, and they're always releasing different beers, and they're still quite experimental actually. Very recently I reviewed some chili beers from these guys, so they're always trying new things. So if you haven't come across Brewdog beer before, give it a go. My personal recommendations would probably be the hardcore IPA, the Dogma, or the Riptide if you can come across them. There are various other good beers as well, but those are kind of the ones I would advise that you have a little look at. They're always producing interesting stuff though. So yeah, that's enough about the brewery just now. I'll just tell you a little bit about the Chinook hop as well. I do have some notes on that here. So the Chinook hop was produced by the USDA in 1985 as part of their hop breeding program. This one is a cross between the USDA male and a Petham Golding hop, and it's described as a bittering high alpha variety known for its spice, grapefruit and pine characteristics. And like you'll find many West Coast IPAs use this one as one of their bittering hops, so it's really cool actually. But just to read the little blurb you've got on the side of this one, it says, "We love hops. We adore and worship their prolific ability to transform beer. You could say that we have a terminal addiction. To celebrate this fetish, we're heroing our favourites in a single hopped limited edition releases. No also starring, no extras, no compromise. The hop is the hero. A biscuity malty backbone builds to an intense resinous pine with pithy citrus notes, culminating in a grapefruit hit with a long bitter finish. Our ace in the hole, devastatingly singular, deliciously bitter. Serving up an ace each and every time. Go get a mace." So this one, it should be really nice. 4.5% single hop IPA, as I said to you, and it's done with Chinook, which is a really nice American hop. So I'll just let you have a quick look at the artwork on this one. The artwork for each of these Ace of Hop series is actually the same. It's always green, and they obviously just have Simcoe or a Citra. I do have the Citra one. I missed the Simcoe, unfortunately, but there you can see it has the standard Brewdog bottle cap on this one, and it says best before the 18th of the 4th, 2017. So it should be well in date when I'm opening this up, and we'll get it out and into the glass. So yeah, nice smoky opening on this one. As you can see, frothing up just a little bit, but we'll get it out and see how we get on. And I tell you something, you can smell some of these nice grapefruity and citrus notes coming off this beer. Really looking forward to trying this one. I always looked forward every year to the IPA is Dead series coming out, and I was quite disappointed when they ended it actually, but the fact that they're doing one beer every so often rather than a 4-pack is actually quite good, because it means you can do these videos every so often rather than kind of grouping them together. But I'll just turn on the light and let you see the colour of this one. As you can see, it's a nice bright orangey amber colour. This one is exactly what you'd expect from a kind of Brewdog IPA. I'll just lift the light up and let you see that. Lovely colour on this beer. There's a quarter finger or a half finger of a frothy white head on there. The camera's being a bit funny with the light at the moment. Some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, and quite a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of the head there. If I put my fingers behind it, you can see there is a degree of transparency to the beer, but it is quite opaque in colour. So let's have a little look at this, at the aroma of this one then. Yeah, really lovely smelling beer, this guy. Just on the nose, you wouldn't actually expect that this guy is only 4.5%. So with this one, I'm getting a nice kind of dark floral aromaticity, as you'd expect. Some nice grapefruity notes. There is a little bit of lighter tropical fruit in there, you know, like a sort of mango-y or kind of not grapefruity, maybe an apricot or something like that. There's a little bit of that sort of thing. Maybe a mango. Not peaches, I think definitely an apricot-y thing going on in this one. Definitely grapefruit there. I'm not getting much in the way of pine resins on the nose on this actually. It really is more like a kind of floral aromatic one, but it smells very juicy, very citrusy. Very juicy, very citrusy, like I say. Those nice mangoes and things in there. It smells absolutely lovely. I can get a little bit of that biscuit malt. There's maybe a bit of richer caramel in there, and also some bready character as well, but it smells absolutely lovely. So just take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of this one before you get stuck in. Of course, when you're doing a single hop IPA, the whole point of these is to actually educate the drinker as to what things you can get from each individual hop. But this one is really, really nice. So take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of this one. Like I say, grapefruity character in there, some mangoes, maybe a little bit of apricot, some nice floral aromaticity. It's quite grassy as well actually, this one, but I'm not getting so much of the pine resin, but I'm sure that'll come out in the flavour of this beer. So yeah, let's get stuck into this one. So this one is the Ace of the Chinook, my first review from Brewdog's new Ace of Hop series. Slàinte. Yeah, that's really nice actually. It's really light and drinkable as well, that's the thing. And what I like about this one is that they've actually taken away a little bit of the malt base. See, the IPA's Dead series always used to have a nice little caramelly malt to them, but at the same time that could help. It actually took a little bit of flavour away from the hops, which were supposed to be the focus of the beer. So this one feels more like it's got a pale malt, and there's just a little bit of biscuit rather than that richer caramel to balance out the beer. But you do get more flavour from the hops, which is what this series should be all about. But it's very, very easy to drink this one. I can say that this is a much better session beer than the IPA's Dead ones would have been. because these are very light and very drinkable. But yeah, you're getting a little bit of pale malt across the middle of the palate. There's a little bit of biscuity, grainy character going on in there. Some of that kind of biscuity syrup character. You're getting a little bit of the sweetness right in the middle of the palate. At the back corners of the palate, I'm getting maybe just a little tiny bit of earthiness, but as you come further forward, you're getting these big floral aromatic aspects of the beer. There is a little bit of pine resin in there, but it's not quite as strong as I was expecting. Yeah, there's a nice bit of that pine resin in there, but mainly I'm getting the sort of spicy floral aromatic character from this one, which is quite interesting, because the Chinook was one I always find when I have a beer that's bitter, that has Chinook used as a bittering hop. It's always very kind of resinous. But when it's on its own, it's more of a nice kind of spicy floral character, which is quite interesting. Around the front curve of the palate, I'm getting a nice little bit of juicy fruit there, and it's really nicely done. There's a bit of slightly grassy wetness to it, and if you just go behind the front curve of the tongue, that's where this nice juicy fruit's coming out of the beer. Yeah, you can get a little bit of the grapefruit there. There is a little bit of a citrusy character to this one as well. I'm getting a wee bit of the kind of orchard esters from this one, a little bit of a kind of appley thing going on, but there's a wee bit of mango or something in there. Almost, it's the same kind of idea that you actually get from the citra hop. I'm getting some of these nice lighter esters in this one. It's not apricot, maybe it's a little bit of mango. But definitely you can get that nice grapefruit character in there, and there's a lighter citrus just on top of that. As I said, there's almost a kind of green apple ester coming out of this one as well, which is quite interesting because I've never noticed that aspect of the Chinook hop before. So it's quite interesting to see this hop isolated, because it's not often you'll come across a single hop Chinook IPA. But yeah, the grapefruit is just underpinning that. There's some lighter citrus on top, not quite lemony, but there's a bit of sort of mango or something in there. There's these lighter tropical fruit esters in there as well, and a little bit of an almost green apple ester, but that's quite minimum. Really it's the grapefruit that's dominating, and some of that other tropical fruit note as well. But the hops are lovely, grassy, smooth, wet and grassy around the front curve of the tongue, and some floral aromaticity around the edges there as well. But a really nice beer, this one. It's always interesting to try these single hop IPAs. In terms of the mouthfeel of this, I'd say this guy is kind of light to mid-bodied. It's got a nice little bit of oily character to it. There's a little bit of crisp carbonation, and that helps bring out some of the kind of spicier aspects of this Chinook hop in here. You've got a little bit of sweet character from the malt, but overall it really is quite smooth. There's a wee bit of dryness from the cereally aspects, and some nice kind of bitter and dry character from this one. But overall it is actually a really quite interesting beer. As I say, really cool to see the Chinook hop isolated on its own, because it's one that really, it takes more of a backseat to things like Amarillo, Citra and Cascade and things like that. So it's really cool to see this hop on its own, and I look forward to trying more beers in this series from Brewdog. So yeah, really cool to try the new version of the IPA's Dead beers from Brewdog. Hopefully I can review all the rest of them for you, but thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know your favourite Brewdog beers as well. It's always interesting to hear from you guys that are watching the video. So until the next time, do check out all my social media. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer, and I will catch you very soon. Make sure you try this series from Brewdog, because it is really helpful if you want to get into beer tasting. So until the next time, it's Slàinte just now, and I will catch you very soon. The Ace of Chinook from Brewdog's Ace of Hops series. Slàinte.